Hey, welcome back to Get Down's Business, the show all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. Get on my website, shalomklein.com. That's where you can download the past 9+ years of shows all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You can download podcasts by just subscribing, rating, reviewing, and sharing on your favorite podcast app. Just search for Get Down to Business. So I've been super excited for this conversation. I'm joined by Attram, the founder and CEO of Mindspace Coaching, a leading business growth expert, widely regarded as one of the most sought-after business coaches and trainers for entrepreneurs. He's famous, that's right, famous for helping business owners rapidly increase their sales revenue between 20 and 200% in just a few months. That is quite the reputation. And we're going to chat about the successes, but maybe a little bit of the failures too in our conversation. Attram, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me on the program, Shalom. It's a real privilege to be here.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. So, Mac, you have quite an interesting reputation over here. Mindspace Coaching, helping folks in many of their endeavors. So I'm just curious to jump right into it. Mac, you talk to a lot of people. What's the biggest challenge that you think small business owners and small businesses in general are facing right now?
Thank you. Great question there. One of the biggest challenges right now is to do with cash flow. Now when clients come to us and something's not going right in the business, it's often to do with cash flow. And so we go through a process of identifying what the issue is. Is it lack of sales? Is it lack of leads coming through the business? Is it just poor management of expenses? So cash flow, as we know, without cash flowing through the business, in and out of the business, then at some point we have to close the business because we will not be able to run it. So one of the biggest challenges is cash flow there, Shalom.
Absolutely. And so when somebody comes to you and they're struggling with cash flow, because indeed, I agree that that's the case. I mean, this has been an interesting couple of years for some folks. For some, it's been perhaps very successful. They've globalized their firms. They've been able to use the web to go beyond their wildest dreams. But for many, cash flow is indeed a challenge. So I know you're having those conversations. What's your advice to the business owners struggling with cash flow right now?
Yeah. And so my advice is, let's look at two areas. Let's look at, are we targeting the right type of people? Are we attracting the right type of clients into the business, the right type of prospects? And if we are, then great. Then the next question is, do we have a process to close them effectively so that they become clients? So turning those prospects into paying clients. Now, there's two sides. So if the lead generation, the attraction of leads, of prospects is not working, then we need to look at certain parameters. One is, are we clear on who we're trying to attract? And secondly, are we looking in the right place for them? So in other words, are we on the right platform to be able to get them? And thirdly, what is the message we're putting out there? Is that message consistent? Does it actually draw them? Are they interested? So we have some processes to fix the lead generation. And if that is all working, then let's see, why aren't we closing? Why aren't we closing these sales? And sometimes it's to do with training of the salespeople or the training of the person who's actually doing the sales. Sometimes they don't have a sales process. And you mentioned at the beginning of the call that we have a process that would take our clients to grow in terms of sales between 20% and 200% in less than a year. How do we do that? Everything is systemized. Everything, we have a process too. So we train organizations and their teams on how to sell, following the process that we teach. And so now their conversions are better, and we we look at all the numbers that they're doing. So now if we can take care of the sales side of it, and that is flowing very well, then the next thing is just to manage the expenses. If we can manage the expenses, we are now more in control of the business. I hope that gives you a high level view of it.
Oh, yeah. And if you've been listening over the past few minutes, we've been chatting with Mac Attram, the founder and CEO of Mindspace Coaching. And Mac is a multi-award-winning business coach and author, has been featured as an expert advisor on many TV, newspaper, and magazine outlets, and has previously awarded the Executive Coach of the Year in the UK. And you'd be thinking that you're chatting with somebody that's only experienced success. And Mac, I want to spend our last minute or so before we've got to go to break, chatting perhaps about some of the things that a lot of people don't see behind folks that have seen a lot of success, some of the challenges. Mac, we should have started with this in our conversation, but can you tell our listeners a little bit about what they don't know, what's been happening behind the scenes?
Very good question, Shalom. What the people don't know is that although these days I teach people how to grow their business rapidly and make a lot more money. The reason why that came about was, and I've been doing this for 17 years, by the way, but prior to that, I've been an entrepreneur for over 2 decades now. But there was a point in my life, in the early part of my entrepreneurial journey, where I found myself totally broke, over $100,000 in debt. There was a time when my relationship with my wife wasn't so great. She was pregnant with our wife. I found myself working 90 hours a week, 100 hours a week sometimes, little sleep, and my health was deteriorating. And so and my business wasn't working. I had to learn how to fix my business. And thankfully, I had some help. I fixed my business and I sold it. So I was from struggle. Then I was able to sell that business and other people started asking me to support them. And that's how I got into this coaching and training business.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. And I appreciate you sharing that. Again, I'm chatting with Mac Attram, founder and CEO of Mindspace Coaching, also the author of Face It and Fix It, as well as Millionaire Moment. And in a moment, we're going to have to take a quick break, but we're going to chat all about joint ventures, which I know is something you're super passionate about. But Mac, just in closing, I know I mentioned that word globalization. And so, Mac, how have you been surviving over these past few years of the pandemic? And have you been able to reach new goals?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing we teach our clients is how to really look at what's going on in the marketplace, what are customer demands, and shift accordingly. And so we've done that for my own organizations. I have a multi-million-pound real estate property business. Awesome. We have a training and coaching business, etc. So let's say through the pandemic, we've looked at it. Okay, bring the shift. Where are we going to get new business from? And really look at the market and shift.
We're going to cut over here because we've got to cut to a quick break, but I'm excited to continue our conversation with Mac Attram, founder and CEO of Mindspace Coaching. We will be right back. Welcome back to Get Down to Business, the show all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship. So I'm chatting with Mac Attram. We've been chatting all about cash flow, how important it is. We've talked about, taking advantage of sort of this time, living in the moment and being able to go through challenges and failures. And again, Mac is an award-winning business coach, certainly one of the most sought after in the world. That's right. Lots of success there. But Mac, I know you are certainly very, very passionate about changing lives globally. You've had the Millionaire Joint Venture program. So how do you get clients using joint ventures? Why are you so passionate about it?
Yeah, I'll tell you why I'm so passionate about joint ventures. The joint ventures really changed my life, changed my businesses. Because what I didn't realize many, many years ago was that, yes, you can go out there and fish for clients and all the rest of it. But the fastest way that I've discovered, the fastest way is to build relationships with the people who already have your ideal clients. Now, if they can put you in front of their clients, and here's an endorsement of someone, hey, I trust Mac, listen to what he has to say, they're more receptive. You're not going through so many hurdles. Now, we live in a world where there are so many marketing trends now, major marketing trends. Facebook are changing their algorithm, so is Twitter and Instagram. Advertising costs are rising. Email marketing open rates are falling. Nothing wrong with these things. They still work, but it's hard work. But in the last 8 years alone, I've generated my company and my partners have generated over $25 million using joint venture marketing. In a sense that someone says, hey, here's my people. Can you help them? We help them. They buy from us. And as a joint venture partnership, everyone wins. So that's why I love it so much, because for me, it's the easiest, the fastest, the most effective way to get new clients.
That's fantastic. So definitely joint venture is definitely a huge opportunity. And so how do you know if you're ready? Who's the ideal profile for somebody to jump into a joint venture opportunity and what can they expect?
One of the things, if you're running a business right now, any business can do joint venturing. Now, if you can imagine, the statistics that I read some time ago, and that's why I started teaching people this, was that 95% of small businesses do not do joint ventures. Large corporations are doing it all the time. If you take Disney with Coca-Cola, anytime Pixar releases something, McDonald's will will be releasing something with them. So joint ventures are happening all the time. If you have a product, if you have a service, if you have a program, if you have a workshop, anything like that, you can joint venture with someone else. And if you imagine, the key thing to imagine, who has my clients already? So if you're a consultant, does the accountant have your customers already? Could you build a relationship with that accountant and work out a joint venture win-win situation? We teach people how to do that kind of stuff. So anyone can, if you're a small business owner, you can start doing joint ventures.
I love it. Well, I'm pumped. I'm excited. And we always try to leave people with a homework assignment over here. And I think the greatest homework assignment over here is getting in touch with you, Mac Attram. Mac, how can we get in contact with you, purchase your books, and perhaps get started in our joint venture process, as well as this important coaching that you offer?
Yeah, no problem at all. I mean, often what I say to prospects is go to my website, macattram.com, and in there is a 3-minute quiz. And that 3-minute quiz quickly assesses your business and says, okay, where's the weakness? Where am I going to be falling down very soon? And you'll get a full report on that. And also with that report, you can then email us and say, look, this is my situation. Can you help? If you want my books, it's all available on Amazon. My latest one, Millionaire Moment. It's all about how our thoughts shape our financial destiny. It's all about my rags to riches story from being broke, $100,000 in debt, to becoming a multi-millionaire. What did I do? What happened? And there's some scientific facts in there as well. But the easiest thing is go to macattram.com.
macattram.com. Thank you so much, Mac, for joining us. That's a wrap for us here on the show, all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. Get on my website, shalomklein.com. Get on your favorite podcast app where you can subscribe, rate, review, and share. But to success, let's get down to business. We'll talk to you next Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on AM 560 The Answer. See you then.